Hello, welcome back. We're going to continue our foundational yoga series by talking about standing poses. And the first one we're going to talk about is mountain pose. It's a pretty simple pose, mostly, but there are a few things to keep in mind. One is if you have balance issues. You don't want to be testing yourself too much with balance if you're a little shaky. So what I recommend is have a chair nearby, because having something solid to touch can bring you back into balance if you start to feel a little shaky. Another thing to do is touch the wall. So if you're going to do something, like having a solid surface makes you feel that stability so that you're not kind of losing balance. You can feel that and you're like, okay, I think I know how to balance myself from here. If you're really unsure, then just take it really easy and keep your hand on something the whole time. Mountain pose is very simple. There's a couple different ways to start. Traditionally, feet are close together. This is also more challenging for your balance because when your feet are together, you have a smaller surface area. It's not so much surface area because your feet are the same size, right? But your weight is focused in a smaller place on the ground. So you have less ability to stabilize yourself if you start to tilt one way or another. So this one's more challenging. You can also put your feet shoulder width apart. This is a good place to start. Shoulder width apart, have a chair nearby in case you need it. And then from there, you will move the chair a little bit here because you're going to turn your hands out. And you're going to, starting with your feet, you're going to get your feet nice and firm on the ground. You want your knees over your ankles. You don't want to lock your knees. Having your knees bent also helps you, sort of like a shock absorber, the way a car works. If you start to tilt a little bit, having bent knees allows you to have a little bit of wiggle room. You can adjust easier. If you're really straight and stiff, if you start to go, you don't have as much ability to compensate. So firm feet on the ground. Feel the balls of your feet pressing into your mat, the outer side of your foot pressing into your mat, your heels, and perhaps, depending on how flat your feet are, or if you have high arches, you won't feel your arch, but you might feel a little bit of the arch pressing into the floor. So get your feet well firmly in contact with the ground and feel that. And then if you can, lift your toes up and open them wide, like spread them all out, like my fingers are, except your toes. And then put them back down on the ground and maybe grip the ground a little bit with your toes. We don't really think about gripping things with our toes, but it's a good exercise for your feet. In fact, gripping with your feet helps with things like plantar fasciitis and other foot issues. So foot health is something we don't often think about, but when mountain pose, you want a good firm grip on the ground. Then loose ankles a little bit. You're not really loose, but not locked. Same thing with your knees. Knees should be over your ankles, hips over your knees. Your pelvis, you don't want to tilt too much one way or another. You want it pretty neutral. You should have a pretty normal, natural curve in your lower back. And then you want to fold, like roll your shoulders up and back and maybe pinch your shoulder blades together a little bit to get your shoulders open and lift your chest. And then your hands just naturally kind of open outward. And then feel like something's pulling from the top of your head towards the ceiling. And that is mountain pose. And what you'll do, take a breath. And then just feel what's going on in your body from your feet up to the top of your head. Take a breath. And let it out. And I recommend keeping your eyes open if you have balance issues, but if you want a little bit of challenge, you can close your eyes. And it's a funny thing about closing your eyes. Sometimes it feels like you start to sway, even though there's no wind. Not in my house, not unless the windows are open. But you'll start to feel like you're slightly off balance. So close your eyes if you have pretty good balance and you want to challenge. Otherwise, it's fine. Keep them open. And then you just breathe with it. And feel yourself sinking into the mat. Feel your feet really in contact with the mat. And just breathe. Feel your solid body in contact with the floor. Feel your posture. Feel how upright you are. Feel the shoulders going back in very strong, firm pose. And then from here, you can breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Lifting the arms up. Feeling your body stretch. Reach for the ceiling. And then exhale. And then one more time. Inhale. Lift your arms. Reach for the ceiling. And then reach with your left hand. Reach with your right hand. Feel that stretch all the way down your side. And feel free to breathe normally at this point because you don't want to hold your breath while you're doing this. But inhale. Reach up. Exhale. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale. And now from here, we can lower the arms. We're going to do a couple more things. So again, we're going to inhale. And just grab your right arm with your left hand. And then you're going to feel your right foot pressed firmly down into the mat. And as you exhale, you're going to gently lean to your left. And you're going to feel that stretch in your side. And then you're going to inhale and come back up. And then exhale. And then you're going to inhale again. This time your right hand's going to grab your left. And you're going to lean towards your right as you exhale. And you can feel that stretch. You should be pressing down into your left foot. Feel that stretch in your left side as you're tilted to the right. Feel that, and then inhale, exhale. And then one more time, inhale. One more time on each side. So grab your arm with your hand and lean. Feel your foot firmly grounded. Exhale. And then inhale. Exhale. And we're going to do the other side. Inhale. Grab your wrist with your other hand and tilt and put your opposite foot deep into the mat and just feel that stretch in your side. All down this side, you should feel the stretch. And then back up. Inhale. And exhale. And then back to open position. And this is mountain pose. This is a nice sort of standing meditative posture. You can stand up in mountain pose. Like if you've been meditating and you're getting sleepy, standing is perfectly acceptable for a posture for meditating. And when you're standing, it kind of forces you to stay awake. Although if you're really tired, I don't know. I think that's it for mountain pose. So we'll continue on in the next few videos covering other standing postures. And then at the end, we'll do a short sequence that brings them all together.